Hey guys, how's it going? It's Chris from Project Mobile here, doing a hands-on of one of my new favorite Twitter applications. It's been developed by a company called Red Badger. It's called Birdsong, and this is currently version 1.1, which actually just came out the other day. So let's boot it up. It's really nice. It's actually one of the more full-featured Twitter clients that's found on Windows Phone 7. I usually find a lot of Twitter clients on Windows Phone 7 are really they miss quite a bit of stuff, and this is, well, it's still missing some stuff. It has most of what you really need. So when you first fire it up, you're going to first notice that you have some home screens here, and all the way up top here, that's sort of when it scans everything, it's going to say this is what you've missed since the last time you've had the app open. So if I had some new tweets, it would show a number there. Then if you scroll over to the right, we have mentions, messages, and then this will go on a little more later, but this is a saved search I have here. The home screen is very, very similar to TweetDeck or most of any other kind of Twitter application. It uses the Metro UI, so you're scrolling along like this, and it's very smooth, very, very smooth. You don't really have any kind of like jagged issues of it like stuttering and stuff when you kind of go into things. So it's nice and smooth. So let's click a tweet here. And here's another nice little perk about Birdsong. It has an integrated Internet Explorer, so you're not constantly leaving the application. You know, this, unfortunately, integrated Internet Explorer is going to have to be a reality of these applications until we start to get at least some sort of quasi multitasking in this. So here's Project Mobile. Here's a site. So I viewed my link. We can get back out of it. Another nice thing too is it plays very nicely with the back button. I notice a lot of applications, and I got to call Seismic out on this one. When you hit that back button, you don't really know if it'll ever go back into the app, and a lot of times you have to keep hitting the back button before it actually goes in. It's sort of a pain. So any application, especially one that's using external links, that will go back into the application without much trouble is really, really welcome. It's very nice. So we can scroll down here. It's nice and smooth. We can go up here. Let's start looking at some options. We have favorites. Now, interesting thing about the favorites is you can view your favorites. You can't add any favorites or manipulate them or move them in any way. So it's really, Windows Phone 7 is still a two-Twitter client operating system right now because not everyone has all the features. But I have my favorite here, and I can retweet it and reply, whatever, send a direct message. But I can't actually remove this, and I can't actually add favorites from the timeline. So let's actually go into one of the more unique things actually to this application, and that's your customization of this home screen here. So what we can do is we can go into settings. Whoops, went to the wrong one. Settings. All right, so this is pretty nice and it's pretty new. By default, you just have these three: home, mentions, and messages. But what you can do is you can actually move these around. So if you don't want home to be first, you can switch around. So those columns then, if I go back out of it, it's going to be mentions first, then my messages, then you'll have my actual home screens. Let's go back into that. Now, you can only add, besides these default ones, see what I have here is Project Mobile, is you can add a list, save search, new search. That's all you really can do right now, but that's still pretty good. The fact that you can add a whole bunch of, and have this stuff saved, it's pretty nice. It's definitely nice and welcome rather than the prescribed kind of three home screens that you usually find in most Twitter clients. Rarely do you actually get that kind of choice. Some things that you're going to notice are missing that maybe compared to Bees, which Bees has had for quite some time, is a live tile or any kind of notifications. The developer has mentioned that at least one of those will be coming very soon, which is very welcome, especially since there really isn't much of a way of a notification system. Just by default, developers really have to do it themselves. You don't really know if you have new stuff coming in. So if at least a live tile that says, hey, you have 5 things missing, at least you know you prompt yourself, click it, which will be really nice. Also, the adding of favorites, like I mentioned before, that's really kind of a biggie for me. Apparently not for many other people, but that would be really great. Also the timeline spot. So let's just say if I'm looking right here, and I have this timeline spot right up here. If I exit the application, and then I go back into it, it's not going to remember where I was. And this is kind of a big downer, especially if you follow a lot of people and they post a lot. This could be like, that number up there could be like 100. And how would you remember where you were last time? What ends up happening is, like it does right here, is you go up to the top, and you're actually scrolling backwards, which, if you're using this for breaking news, I can understand that's important because you want the most recent stuff. For me, I kind of like to look at everything, so it's sort of a little annoying to have to go back down and do that. You know, this is actually something that's not in any Windows Phone 7 Twitter client that I'm aware of, and I've used almost all the big name ones. So I can't really knock Red Badger for that one. Maybe there's something odd about implementing it, or it's kind of tough. But adding those kind of things, I think, would really make this the absolute killer. It's still my current favorite one. It's still the one that I use over all the other ones. And it is $2 on the marketplace, and nice enough that they have a free trial, which you can then download and check out if you don't want to spend the $2 if you're not really sure about it. Highly recommending. I would go check it out.